The power came to Lana on an ordinary Tuesday. She was sitting at her desk, drowning in a sea of emails and sneers from coworkers who never hesitated to remind her of her place. Then, amidst her usual daydream of a better life, it happened. The first time was accidental. Lisa, God, Lana, could you be any slower? Lisa, the office gossip, sneered as she dumped a stack of papers on her desk. Lana clenched her fists, her mind buzzing with frustration. I wish you'd just disappear, she thought bitterly. Lisa's laughter cut off abruptly. When Lana looked up, Lisa was gone. Her papers fluttered to the floor, but there was no trace of her. No scream, no puff of smoke, just absence, like she had never existed. Panic surged through Lana. She searched the office, her heart pounding. But as the day dragged on, people acted as though Lisa had never worked there. Her desk was cleared out, her name absent from the directory. It was as if reality itself had been rewritten. At first, Lana tried to rationalize it, a mental break, stress-induced hallucination. But deep down she knew the truth. Somehow, she had erased Lisa. That night, as she lay in bed, the weight of what she'd done pressed on her chest. But alongside the guilt was something darker, a thrill. For once, she wasn't powerless. The next day, the office bully Greg was the next test. He shoved her in the hallway, spilling coffee on her blouse. Greg, you're useless, Lana. Disappear, she thought, focusing on the loathing that curled in her gut. Greg vanished mid-stride. His coffee cup hit the floor, spilling like blood. Lana felt a surge of power. It wasn't long before she started using her ability outside work. The rude barista who rolled her eyes at Lana's fumbling with change? Gone. The landlord who ignored her pleas to fix the heater? Erased. Every petty slight, every moment of humiliation. She avenged them all with a single thought. But with each disappearance, Lana began to notice shadows. At first they were faint, lingering in her peripheral vision. Black, wispy shapes that darted just out of sight. Then they became bolder. One evening as she walked home, she saw one directly, a towering figure with hollow eyes and a crooked grin. Shadow, you're feeding us, it rasped, its voice like nails on glass. She ran home, locking the door behind her. But the shadows were waiting in her apartment, crowding the corners and whispering her name. The shadows weren't just following her, they were growing. They began to whisper, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of accusations. Shadows, murderer, selfish, vile. Lana tried to stop using her power, but the shadows wouldn't let her. They pressed in closer, their hunger palpable. Shadow, you took them from here, and now they're ours. But we want more. The next time someone crossed her, the shadows didn't wait for her command. A man on the subway bumped into her, muttering a half-hearted apology. Before she could react, he screamed and vanished, his echoing cry swallowed by the ever-present shadows. Now they acted without her consent, feeding on her anger and fear. Lana's life spiraled into isolation. She quit her job, avoided people, and tried to suppress every negative thought. But the shadows demanded more. They grew restless, their whispers turning into guttural growls. One night, they made their ultimatum. Shadow, you or them, the largest shadow said, pointing a clawed finger at her. Her reflection in the mirror began to waver, her face fading in and out. Shadow, choose, Lana. Erase yourself, or we'll take the world. She sank to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The power she once reveled in had consumed her, leaving nothing but a hollow shell. Lana, I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice trembling. With a single thought, she focused inward. And then, silence. The world was safe, but Lana was gone. The shadows, now masterless, scattered into the void, their hunger momentarily sated. But somewhere in the corners of the forgotten, a whisper remained. A cautionary tale of what happens when power turns its wielder into prey.